Alright people, what is up? Welcome back to a new video on this channel. By popular demand, today I'm going to be giving you guys a guide on how to tackle all the different style of Invis bases, because so many of you guys ask me on every single one of my videos. So hopefully in future, I won't get as many comments asking me how to tackle these bases. We're going to go through an Invis Rage base, Invis Rage Diamond base, and a double Invis base. So make sure to use the timestamps to skip to the part of the video that most applies to you. I'm going to show you guys how I'm attacking this base. Then I'm going to show you guys me attacking the base. So hopefully you can learn how I'm doing it. Without further ado, let's get right into the first style of base. So here is the first style of base that we're going to look at, the most common style of Invis base being the Invis Rage base. So let's get the basics down to start with. You are going to need to learn how to use an Invis spell and a Skelly spell to trigger an Invis base. Now luckily this is really easy to learn. And luckily, this is really easy to learn. You can just jump into an FC with an Invis base and practice this 100 times over. But the basics is that you need to locate the Invis tower. You place your Invis spell on the corner of the Invis tower, marked, say, by this blue dot here. And then you just want to place your Skelly spell pretty much in the exact same spot. And 99% of the time, that will trigger the Invis tower for you. There's some maths around it. Shock has done a video on it before, I do believe. But that is the easiest way to trigger the Invis towers with your Skelly spell and your Invis spell. So that is the basic that you do need to learn before jumping into any FCs and actually trying to triple this style of base. But nonetheless, this is how I'm approaching these Invis Rage bases. So note that the Town Hall is on either side of the Invis and Rage setup. So for example, on this base, the Town Hall is on the bottom side of the Invis Rage tower. So for that reason, I'm going to be entering into the opposite side. So for example, the Town Hall is facing kind of this way. So I'm going to be entering with my RC and my Root Riders on this side of the base. Now this will be clear why I'm doing that in just a moment. But nonetheless, for now, this is what I'm going to be teaching you guys. So then you want to go your Spirit Walk into either one of the corners on this side of the base. So for example, this corner or this corner. Now as you can see, I have baited both of these corners. Because they are the usual entry with the Spirit Charge, I do believe. When I was testing this base in Legends League about a month ago, this base is from the Saturn sub. But nonetheless, let's pretend that I didn't know where the traps were, and I entered into this compartment here. I'm going to take down this section of the base here, just forming the tiny funnel. Now, very key, you do need to save one Invis spell. Why? To trigger the Invis tower, of course. This can be a little bit tricky, and I've definitely messed this up hundreds of times before. But it is just a case of if you find an Invis base, just say over and over in your head, when you're doing the Spirit Walk, save an Invis, save an Invis, save an Invis. And as long as you have one Invis spell, you are good to go. Then afterwards, of course, we have the Root Rider entry. So normally, I like to trigger the Invis tower after placing down my Root Riders. Now the reason being that that's going to give me slightly more time before the Invis tower recharges and comes back up at the end of the attack. Again, that we made more clear a little bit later into how I'm attacking this style of base. Then, of course, we are going with the Root Riders into the Wizard Tower here. Now, that is because, again, we want to enter on the opposite side of the Town Hall. So once I've placed down my Root Riders and my Queen, King, all the rest of it, that is when I'm going to be triggering the Invis Tower using the method that I just showed you guys 5 seconds ago with the whole Invis Tower, corner, and just placing the Skelly spell on pretty much the exact same spot. Then once that is done and the Invis Tower has triggered, I'm pretty much instantly overgrowthing the entire Rage Invis section. That's going to allow my Root Riders to cruise around the base like so, pretty much uninterrupted, because the damage on the outside of this base is not going to overwhelm my healers. So I can just kind of cruise until the overgrowth wears off. Now this is where our Root Rider entry comes in very key, and that is because once the first overgrowth wears off, our Root Riders are going to be in a position to turn in and grab the Town Hall for us. So our second overgrowth is always looking the same, something like this. We're going to cover the Invis Tower, the Fire Splitter, the Rage Tower, the Builder Hut, the Merge Cannon, the Multi-Inferno here, and the Monolith in this occasion. Now remember, there is a ton of different examples of me attacking this style of base on my channel. So if you are a bit confused, just go ahead and look back on my channel and you will easily find them using the timestamps on all of the videos. But you can see the overgrowth spell. The second overgrowth spell is going to look something like this, covering that section of the base. Now that means that my Root Riders, let's say the blue now, let's do red Root Riders in red now. My Root Riders, accompanied with my Warden ability and my RC ability, are going to be able to grab this section of the base here and take down this portion of the Invis tower. Then we're going to path something like this. Normally the Root Riders will stay on the outside, but the RC will grab the core for me. You do need to be careful that your RC doesn't get caught up too much on the CC. If your RC does not get the core down, you can be in a bit of trouble. And then from there, it does kind of get a little bit messy, but your Root Riders will generally path like this. Then you can simply turn in, and the Invis tower and the Rage tower is the final thing. Normally you'll have the King ability, which you can easily snipe both of the towers in the core nice and quick. Remember, pop your King ability at 92%, and it will target every single building that is left on the board. So that's how I'm taking down this Invis Rage style of base. Now I'm going to jump into an FC to show you guys this attack approach, whatever you want to call it, in action. So let's get right into it. Okay, we are into a live attack on this base. Again, I'm going to go into the baited section, assuming that I didn't know the baits were here. Obviously, this can happen to you guys, so it's hopefully showing you guys the best representation possible of what could happen in one of your attacks if you did get fully baited, like I'm going to force myself to get fully baited here, even though I know the traps are around this area. So, I'm saying in my head, save one Invis spell, save one Invis spell, save one Invis spell. And as you can see, I've taken down this section of the base already. I'm going to use one more Invis spell, and I fear that I'm going to recall here, and all is well. Then I'm going to start on my Queen as usual with the Ice Golem to, of course, tank. Then I'm going to go the Root Riders and everything else into the base nice and quick. Then I'm going to trigger the Invis tower. So it does go fast. You guys already know that if you are using this attack. Looks like my Queen ability is unfortunately going to get forced. And then I'm going with the Overgrowth right away, straight away. I hope this makes sense. Please, RC, don't be a dumbass cake. RC is playing ball. Queen ability is staying intact. Hopefully the King doesn't go in. Oh, sorry, out. No, in. And he is going in, which is fine. Not ideal. But again, things can always go wrong in your attack as well. So this is why I like to show you guys the worst possible variant of this attack. So as you can see, things are going exactly as I said. And as soon as that first Overgrowth wears off, I'm in a great position to turn in, using my Warden ability at this point, because there is a ton of damage on my Root Riders. And you guys can see how easy it is to converge into this Town Hall. I'm effectively taking down the Invis tower in different sections, and with my Queen ability intact, my King ability, my Warden ability, my RC ability, I'm going to pop now and hope that the RC, there you go, look, pop that, freeze that. I'm kind of just yapping at this point. You guys get the idea. This is how I take down the Invis Rage base. Now guys, do not worry if you are struggling on this style of base. This is the hardest style of base to learn. But as you can see, once you've got it down to a T, it is very, very straightforward. I have had my fair run with this base. I've definitely failed it a couple of times, and I've even one-starred this base before in one of my videos. So there we go. That is how you tackle the Invis Rage style of base. Now we're going to jump into a slightly different style of Invis Rage base. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the next style of base that I wanted to show you guys on this video, I was not able to find it as a base link, so I unfortunately can't show you guys as an FC, but I have pulled the base from one of my previous videos. As I said before, loads and loads of examples of me attacking these styles of bases on my previous videos, so make sure to go back and check those out. But on this Invis Rage style of base, we have a slightly different setup where the Town Hall is in the core. The Invis tower is then also separate from the Rage tower. We have this huge amount of rage damage on the 12 o'clock side of this base in this example. So I'm always doing the same exact approach for this base. I'm again identifying where the Town Hall is, and I'm entering into the Town Hall side of the base every single time. So with the Spirit Walk, I'm entering into this Wizard Tower, or this Wizard Tower, or this Mortar. It doesn't really matter. Effectively, I want to take down a section of the base like this and like this. That gives me a Root Rider path into the Town Hall like so. But let's first just remove one of these Spirit Walks. So let's say I Spirit Walk this side. I think I did in this example as well. I Spirit Walk this side. I go with the Root Riders into this Expo section here. And surprisingly, the Root Riders, the RC, something at least does go in and take down the Town Hall for me. So the Root Rider path, something like this, and out again. So the same thing, the same concept is to trigger the Invis tower here and kind of hold your Invis Skelly spell. Don't trigger it too early. Then you're going to be overgrowthing the entire section of the base. Then with the Root Rider is going to be just working around the outside. Hopefully you'll be able to take down some of the Invis tower by using your second overgrowth, something like this. Maybe taking down the Merge Gear Cannon and the Inferno in this example. but you kind of just walk around with your Root Riders. Your Root Riders kind of get a little bit cooked here. This is when you want to be using your King ability. Of course, you're going to have your King on the outside of the base. It's very important that you do keep the funnel nice and tight. You need to use your Super Barbs to support your King on the outside. Otherwise, he does not quite get through all of the trash buildings. And normally the Queen does like to go in with the Root Riders. But then once the second overgrowth is worn off, your Root Riders either kind of go around and get damaged, or most of the time things go in and try and take down this Invis tower before it does go up. I can't really talk more about this base. It's not very common. Definitely not as common as the Invis Rage style that I showed you guys first. But let's get into the YouTube replay of me attacking this base. Let's go. Okay, second base of the day, and we have a double Invis. I just happened at the start there, but look, it's a triple. Let's get into the next one. Okay, second base of the day, and we have a double Invis. Just the one Invis, which I actually do know this guy, but I do not like his base whatsoever. What am I going to do for this one? I hate this base, I'm not going to lie. But let's go for a Spirit Walk. Of course, like this. What scenery is this? It's so loud as well. I don't know why maybe I need to turn down my game audio a little bit. Hopefully it wasn't too loud for you guys or anything. Okay, let's see. Come on then, RC. Hopefully she'll go inward here, or maybe she won't. Yes, she will. Perfect. We find the Nado, which honestly, it's good to get it out of the way. Out of the way here. You kind of want to... Oh my gosh, what's she doing? I almost wanted to save an Invis spell. Yeah, we can save an Invis spell to trigger the Invis tower on the back side of the base. Let's go like so. Oh my gosh, my order's just slightly messed up and I just swagged my wall breaker again. Great. Okay. I almost want to use the RC ability now, just to push everything inward and yeah, get that town hall out of the way nice and early, which was successful. Okay, got a little bit of CC coming out, and my king and queen are not doing a great job at the moment of keeping the funnel nice and tight. So this one might get interesting. Let's go for an overgrowth like this. And let's go with the king ability, just because I want to get through some of that stuff nice and quickly. Oh, the dragon is fighting the witch lady, whatever she's called, I can't remember. Let's freeze that thingy, majiggy. Okay, I think we've got it. I don't know about you guys, I think we have got it. We've got a lot of stuff alive. I don't see a way that the mono... And I was going to say, I don't see a way that the mono can clutch it. Then it just randomly decided to target my warden, which is like the number one worst thing that it could have targeted. But look, it's not going to make a difference. This is definitely a 3-star. We've got so many little tiny like giants and stuff in the way, tanking for like the RC, the king, the queen and whatnot. But it looks a lot less convincing than it would have been if my warden would be alive right now. But look, we do have all 4 heroes alive. A couple of other bits and bobs in there. It's a 3-star. Let's get into the next attack. So the final style of base that we're going to be taking a look at is, of course, the double Invis style of base. Now, I'm not going to lie, I don't really have a streamlined approach for this base because it is so incredibly uncommon. I attack this base like once every 10 days, maybe. But I've come up with a bit of an approach here for this base. So we're going to go with the Spirit Walk into this side of the base. Now, while we're doing this, again, we want to get the Root Rider entry into the Town Hall. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, both of these entries are trapped. I don't think they would normally be trapped, but let's just assume that I wouldn't go into the Giga Bomb. I would go into the other side where there is supposedly no traps. As you can, there is traps, but it's fine. That's just me showing you guys you can trap the space even after getting fully baited with the RC charge. So, once I've Spirit Walked this section of the base here, I'm going to be using the Root Riders to go into the base here. Of course, the king and the queen to funnel these buildings on the outside here. Perhaps the king could do the funnel by himself. Maybe I could send the queen in with the Root Riders. Who really knows? But in this case, we're going to be using the Invis Skelly spell trick to trigger this Invis tower in the core, so my Root Riders can pretty easily get through this section of the base. Now, don't get me wrong, it is going to be slightly difficult, especially with the CC there, so I'm expecting that I'm going to have to be using the Warden ability to be able to get through the Invis tower. Then I'm going to be using the Overgrowth spell on the middle Invis tower section. My Root Riders are going to be getting pushed around the base, around, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Second Overgrowth, again, on the same exact place. Keep going around the base, keep going around the base. Finally, we'll get to the Invis tower on the back end. We should have a ton of power left. King ability, RC ability, Queen ability, maybe, who knows, we'll find out. I haven't actually done the FC yet, so I'm hoping this is actually a good approach. And then we'll turn into this Invis tower. It will trigger, and the rest is history. We could even use the second Overgrowth, something a bit more like this, and hopefully take down the Multi-Inferno, Fire Spitter, blah, blah, blah. You guys get the idea. This is the approach that I think you guys should be using on the Invis towers effectively. Root Rider entry into the Town Hall Invis tower, and then using your Overgrowth spells to kind of counter the other Invis tower. So without further ado, let's get into the FC for this base. Okay, so we are in the replay for this base. Let's go into the area that we know is baited. Again, I'm trying to keep it as realistic as possible. You can get baited on your RC charges, and that is really loud. So I'm going to turn that down. We're definitely going to lose the Fox on this occasion. And remember, again, I'm saying in my head, save an Invis spell, save an Invis spell, save an Invis spell. Okay, let's pretend, oh, I got baited. Oh, no, my RC, my Fox. Oh, my gosh. Oh, wow, we made it out alive with the Fox. Wow, okay, incredible. So, then we're going to go with the Ice Golem. We're going to go with the King. I'm getting a little bit jumbled up because I'm a little bit rusty on this game, but that's fine. Lots of finger tapping. Let's get the thing going and trigger the Invis tower. And we're looking okay at the moment. We'll get the first Overgrowth going now. Make sure my Root Riders do go into the Invis tower. Hopefully, yes, thank you guys. Poison the Furnace as usual. And again, I'm going to be popping the Warden ability nice and early, because there is actually quite a lot of damage here. And especially with the CC there, I don't want to be taken down by the CC. But as you can see, this first Invis tower is so easy to get through. When you guys realise that Poison towers and Rage towers are like the core for defenders, then Invis bases are really easy, because the Invis towers, they just do nothing. You can easily counter them, and maybe I'm jinxing myself, but what I'm trying to say is that when you're attacking a base that doesn't have a Rage tower, doesn't have a Poison tower, etc, etc, the defenses just seem to do absolutely ground zero damage. I don't know why that is. I don't know why I feel that way. That's just how I feel when I'm attacking these bases. It feels like the defenses are just nerfed by 50% damage, or, whatever. And this one is going to get a little bit close, because unfortunately the Warden... What is the Warden actually doing? Okay, fine. Am I going to fail this? Oh, Christ. Honestly. Guys, if you find double Invis bases, you're on your own. Because apparently I don't even know how to attack them. But this is how I would attack them. They're just so uncommon that I don't really have the need to find a really good approach for the bases, and generally they're pretty easy to get through. But with the Queen ability, we are definitely going to get through this one. It's going to get slightly tight, because that Monolith is being really annoying. Okay, are we actually going to triple this one or not? This is awkward, isn't it? Hopefully a small percentage of viewers are still watching, because this is quite embarrassing. But as you can see, it is going to 3-star, please. Okay, we have 3-starred it. It's a little close, whatever. You guys get the idea. This is how I would attack a double Invis base in Legends. And I'm sure if they become more popular, I will revisit this approach, because that was not great. But nonetheless, that is all I have for you guys in today's video. I hope this guide has helped you to learn how to triple the Invis style of base. Definitely the hardest style of base to attack. So do not worry if you are struggling with a couple of the bases. But that is all I have for you guys today. Blah, 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 blah. Bye-bye.